And you're looking at Shannon, his brand has never really been anything that said he might not be into some of the things that we're learning.
You can smell that this is for a record. You can smell that this, if you want to go there, is for the setup. This is for the shakedown. Or you can say, oh no, she's just being explicit and she's just being open, and that's their relationship. But this is where I'm like,
Y'all, Shannon Sharpe is done out in these streets, and Ryan Clark is not letting him hear the last of it. Ryan just went ballistic on Shannon, exposing his creepy behavior with women that has been going on for a long time. Ryan didn't exactly say Shannon was guilty of the accusations in his latest lawsuit, but he made it clear that Shannon isn't exactly new to this behavior, and boy was Shannon losing his mind over Ryan's comments. But guess what? Shannon can't do anything but rant, because word on the street is that he's still begging Gabby to accept a private settlement and make all this go away. I don't know about you guys, but from where I'm standing, it looks like this is the beginning of the end for Shannon. It's super messy. So let's talk about it. If you told anyone last year that Shannon would be fielding SA allegations left and right in 2025, they would have laughed right in your face and told you to go take your meds. But here we are, and baby, it is not pretty. But the thing is that while a lot of people might be surprised at this, Ryan Clark is not the least bit surprised, if anything. He said Shannon getting sued like this is very much on brand, because Shannon is known for being weird around women.
No man wants to be associated with those things that's not his intent, and that's not his heart. And so my biggest thing for him is, if these aren't actions that are of him, I hope that he's cleared of them. Right. And then for the young lady, if these are things that has happened to her, you hope that she's able to process that and in some way feel like she has been not only compensated, but that she has sought and found the justice that she's looking for. But it's like you said, period, it's just a bad look. Whether it's the text messages, whether it's the voice messages, whatever it is, it's a bad.
One of the things Ryan talked about was the texts and audio clips that have leaked in connection to the lawsuit he's currently fighting. Most of y'all have seen those texts by now, and y'all know how weird and creepy they are. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. I know you missed this big juicy behind $25,000 for each cheek. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me. I want to put my tongue in your hole and then marry you. That's my daddy F. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it, cause you're going to be stuck with it for life. After you put a big black baby in me, maybe this wouldn't be that bad if it was between two corn-obsessed teens, but the fact that this is between an old man and a 19-year-old makes you want to pass out from the secondhand embarrassment. Like, what do you mean $25,000 for a cheek? Put a big black baby in me? Oof. What makes it even worse is the fact that Shannon's lawyer was the one who actually leaked these texts. It was supposed to be some sort of clapback, no, to prove that Gabby was the one asking Shannon to do these things to her, but all it did was make Shannon look like an old guy who still thinks being freaked out is edgy and is obsessed with OAF models and core. Not a good look at all. And don't even get me started on the recordings. 2 recorded phone conversations have been making the rounds these last few days, and they're even more cringe than the texts. You can hear Shannon literally threatening the poor girl, and she sounds scared the whole time.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. It is what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
I don't know that person. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you.
I don't.
You know what?
No, I don't want to be.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
No, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did what you did to me.
Okay, well.
Ryan didn't stop there, though. He also called Shannon out for his past behavior with women, especially how he talks about women on his shows.
A lot of times people just are who they are. And you're looking at Shannon, his brand has never really been anything that said he might not be into some of the things that we're learning, right? You could go back to the IG Live, or you could listen to some of the things that he promotes as sponsors of his show, or just certain ways he talks about women during nightcap or whatever it is, right? Like, okay, never hid that. And that's not illegal.
If you watch Shannon, often you can't deny that there's just something off about the way he talks about women, especially black women. It's the kind of talk that would probably get a few kikis in a locker room full of jacked up pro football players, but in the outside world, it just makes Shannon sound like a weird guy and a misogynist. And it makes it easy for people to believe that he's the type of guy to be in a relationship where he mistreats his partner. For example, people recently dug up an old tweet Shannon made where he seemed to be throwing shade at black women. He said, "Why are you on my page? Don't you have another horse to rob of his hair? Stop trying to kill my vibe." Interestingly, Shannon was responding to a comment calling him out for being biased against black female players in the WNBA. The post accused him of only supporting Caitlin Clark, but looking away when black women get disrespected. We should have known from that moment that Shannon was into what he was into, if you know what I mean. But that's not the only creepy thing people have dug up from Shannon's past. Apparently, this isn't his first time getting accused of putting his hands on women. Folks dug around and found out about a complaint against Shannon while he worked as the co-host of FS1's Undisputed. According to an insider, Shannon was accused of choking a female production assistant in the workplace. One source said Sharpe and Fox settled with the accuser for several $100,000, and no lawsuit was filed. Another source revealed that Shannon's team worked with a Fox legal team to keep everything under wraps because it would cause them serious backlash if it got out. But when the new lawsuit started getting traction, people found out about it anyway, and his team was forced to address it. They said there was no incident of choking involving Shannon on the FGS1 set. On one occasion, he and a few colleagues were involved in some light physical interaction in a playful context. Fox Sports later chose to resolve the matter privately. Oh, but it gets worse. Shannon's ex Michelle also sued him in the past. Guess what? The lawsuit looks eerily similar to the one Gabby filed against him. Michelle filed her lawsuit in 2023, claiming that she had dated Shannon for about 10 years before she switched up on her in September 2010. Michelle found out that Shannon was cheating on her and decided to confront him, but he didn't take this well and allegedly became violent with her. He would allegedly force her to perform oral on him and then force her to the bed, where he allegedly sought her while saying he would make it so no other man would want her. This would sound familiar to anyone who has seen Gabby's lawsuit against Shannon. She claimed that the first time he sought her was when she tried to break up with him in October last year after he went live on Instagram while sleeping with another woman. He also allegedly forced her to go down on him, saying, "You've disrespected me so much, I'm going to punish this. I will make it so no man will want you again." Then he allegedly proceeded to essay her through her a-hole, and while he was doing it, he said, "Look at my arm, I've got chills, that's how good this is." The whole time she was crying and sobbing uncontrollably. According to Michelle, Shannon started threatening and stalking her after the attack. He said he would ruin her life if she opened up about what he did to her, and he would call her repeatedly to remind her that he was watching her. At some point, she got so scared for her life that she had to file for a restraining order against him and then sue him for defamation after he broke up with Michelle. Shannon trolled her endlessly on his platform. He would make jokes about her and didn't stop his fans when they threw insults at her and lead her online after this lawsuit resurfaced. Shannon's team released a statement blasting Michelle, saying she was only hopping on the Shannon hate train hoping to get some cash. They called her lawsuit old news, fanciful exaggerations, and blatant misrepresentation of facts. They added that the allegations are completely devoid of merit and Shannon has done nothing wrong and intends to fight back against these malicious lies. However, Michelle didn't back down, and now she's saying that Shannon is doing the same thing to Gabby that he did to her. He didn't need to talk about her OFA account or even put her OAF name out there, yet he did, according to Michelle. This was a very calculated move to shift the focus away from the lawsuit and have people focus on Gabby's lifestyle instead, Michelle said. I want people to understand what Shannon did to this woman by doxing her, by putting out her name, by putting out her OEF account. That was horrifying because things are going to happen to her because of that. I still get it to this day. And I went through many things, as you can see in the complaint, that actually stemmed from it. Now Shannon has been running with the idea that all of this is a shakedown and that he didn't do anything wrong or illegal to Gabby.
This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who is targeting Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of this tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I'll do it myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be 30%. Coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby will
His lawyer also released this statement. This lawsuit filed by Gabriella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney Tony Busby is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of SA, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and the law. However, it would turn out that Shannon had been begging Gabby to settle behind the scenes for months. Shannon and Gabby had been in mediation long before she filed her lawsuit. During this time, he had offered her a $10 million settlement, which makes him look guilty as hell now that everything is out in public. Like, people don't just offer up $10 million if they didn't really do anything wrong. Why would you want to pay if you know you're innocent? Mace dragged Shannon for this, saying offering Gabby $10 million was a terrible move because now she knows how far he's willing to go to keep this mess out of the media, and that's not a good position to be in.
The offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think that 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. You know, just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right? So if there's a pimp, right?
But allegedly, when he found that Gabby wasn't going to settle, he got on a damage control movement and started making it look like he was being set up, and from the looks of it, his tactic is working, because that's all everyone seems to be talking about. Marcellus W.I. weighed in on this Shannon Sharpe situation and had some pretty interesting things to say. According to him, Shannon is probably being set up because the lawsuit was filed literally 2 days after the news broke that Shannon was expecting a huge amount of money.
Oh, we all know about the report of $100 million deal for Shannon Sharpe and his King Empire of Shay Media. Duh, made a ton of sense. But now as I look back on it, that $100 million deal was reported. And did she know that deal was happening? Or she didn't know? Because on Friday, it was reported, and on Sunday, she filed. Now, I could get a work week, Monday through Friday, but then you're going to file on a Sunday? What happened between Friday and Sunday?
For those who don't know, Shannon Sharpe was set to sign a new $100 million deal after his contract with Colin Cowder, the Volume Podcast Network, expired. Shannon pulls insane numbers over all his podcasts and shows, so he was basically fielding offers from every major company. This isn't surprising at all. I mean, his interview with Shannon Sharpe alone has almost 90 million views now. Before this, we didn't really hear anything about the behind the scenes of Shannon's deals, but Suddenly, everyone is talking about how Shannon is about to get this huge sum of money. However, Marcellus also suggested that Shannon or someone on his team could have leaked the deal on purpose to push their shakedown propaganda. The idea is that Shannon leaked the news about this deal deliberately, so that the moment Gabby filed her lawsuit, people would forget about the things she accused him of and focus instead on the fact that she wanted to get some of that $100 million.
This extortion angle that Shannon and his lawyers have chosen could either be A, cover, let's inflate his worth before this hits, because we know it's going to hit, negotiations have broken down the settlement, or B, which is worse, probably, someone with knowledge of these negotiations and the settlement offers leaked it to the public to blow up Shannon Sharpe's potential deal. Someone knew that he was in line for $100 million and leaked it to blow up the negotiations and the settlement, the mediation, and to deflate his value. So now you're not gonna get $100 million because all this gonna hit the fan. Maybe one of the suitors did that, or someone close to Shannon Sharpe. So I just wanted to set that up. That's just setting up the time.
But despite all his propaganda, word on the street is that Shannon is not coping well with all these allegations. ESPN has forced him to take a break, and according to insiders, he may never resume his position at the company even after this has died down. There are even whispers that Disney is not about to ride with Shannon till the end. They don't need Shannon messing up their stock, and he's starting to look like a PR liability for them. As if that wasn't bad enough, there are also rumors that Shannon has gone back to Gabby and her team to renegotiate an out-of-court settlement after all the lies and propaganda against her. He knows how bad it'll be for him if he decides to see this case to the end. But what do you guys think? Is Shannon in way over his head here? Or do you think there's a chance he gets out of this without his reputation being completely destroyed? Sound off in the comments below. And as always, stick around for more stories like